Be up. Salute, salute Knicks Nation, Knicks Streets. The New York Knicks sweep the Denver Nuggets on the season, pull off a huge win on a Saturday matinee at MSG. Now go 20 and 16 at home, 42 wins on the season, securing a winning season, securing potentially 5th seed. Let's chop it up. Salute to Nick Street out here. Let's go. How we feeling after this? New York Knicks putting in work right now, defeating the best team in the West, and won at 110 to 116. The bench showed up. The starting five was alive. Shout out RJ Barrett, great performance. We welcome back Jalen Brunson in the fold. He hadn't missed a beat, absolutely dominated. Again, didn't play as many minutes, which was nice too. Julius Randle, solid as well. Let's talk about this thing. It was a huge win and a winning season clinched. Tonight, the 50 burger, still a possibility. And let's talk about it. Salute Knicks Streets, replay gang, salute chat. How we feeling, Knicks Nation? Let's go. Out here, huge win, 116 to 110 at MSG. It was a come from behind, but it was pleasing that we closed the game out really, really strong again, man, after a huge road trip to get back to MSG now. And like we've been talking about, fam, we needed to improve our home record, and what a statement win. What a way to improve the home record with a big win now. And the New York Knicks only need to go 8-2 for the remaining 10 games to secure a 50-win season. And what do you guys tell me? We'll talk about it tonight. Is that a real possibility? I think it is. We'll definitely go through the schedule and dissect this big win. But shout out to everyone out here. Yep, Nick surging. That's a tap. Bang. Absolute bang. Buzzer's already onto it, man. Yeah, 8-2. It's a real possibility. Yeah, so many winnable games, but it's more the way this team's playing, man. This team is straight buzzing from the first man down to the 15th man out here. Situationals, role players, everyone holding us down. But it felt so good to get Jalen Brunson back, man, and just to see him put in work again from the get-go. The New York Knicks came out with a 36-point first quarter to 28 Denver, and then a 26 second quarter to 39's Denver. But the New York Knicks won the third and the fourth quarters, 29 and 25, and sealed the deal. Kept Denver to just 19 points in the fourth quarter. They had a couple of wide open looks. Nikola Jokic, a solid defense from Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson, all night long, keeping the clamps on the Joker, and forcing him to shoot those deep shots, which he can hit. But tonight wasn't his night. Today wasn't his day. The New York Knicks sweep the Denver Nuggets on this season for the first time in a long time. But all eyes now to the playoffs, fam. That's what it's all about now. As we'll pull up the standings soon and talk about it. But the New York Knicks are gaining ground on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the New York Knicks play the Cleveland Cavaliers one more time as well. And we have a game going on right now. The Miami Heat are doing a battle right now with the Chicago Bulls. They're down in the first quarter right now. It's close, but they're down 26 to 17. They're down 9 points. So tonight we cheer for the Bulls. Let that sink in, man. We're getting closer to securing that 5th seed. Big task, salute. Fabian, what's good? Richard, salute. JJ in the house. Let's go, Buzzer. And yeah, really pleasing win from top to bottom. I guess after a big West Coast trip, the way that finished, you might think that there could have been a letdown game, but that wasn't the case. Jalen Brunson came out, started the game, and didn't look like he missed a single beat. Yeah, like JJ says, everybody chipped in today, and these matinee games are tricky as well. So it was a great job, and particularly against the Joker as well. Yeah, we salute the defense, which is going to be a big theme of tonight. You know, when we talk about it, I think the Knicks' identity is very clear. It's isolation-heavy offense, but it's the defense getting out in transition. Josh Hart pushing the break. You see Jalen Brunson on screen pushing it. That final second to last play, getting Mitch that oop, stand up. That was my favorite play of the game, man. The crowd was going insane. And that was just a preview of what's to come, fam, with the playoffs around the corner. This is what we live for, Knicks Nation, right here. We've got the garden popping and the streets buzzing. And we cannot wait for playoff ball, just to see how this squad holds up. And the Cleveland Cavalier matchup, I'm looking forward to that. Johnny's in the house. Salute. You could see the Knicks turn it on and off when they wanted to, but when they realized they could beat them, they made it happen. Great game all around. Yep. I think a big belief now in this squad. Geraldine's in the house. Salute. The belief now, because players know all of their roles, which is a really really key thing. Please do not underestimate chemistry. Going into the playoffs, these other teams, there might be some players on other teams, not fully happy with their roles, or second guessing what their role is. But Tom Thibodeau's made things clear with Brunson back. It's our three lead dogs in the starting unit, putting up the scoring. Everyone else playing solid defense, uh, getting ready to catch and shoot if the ball gets swung to them, pushing the pace if they get the rebound. It's a beautiful sight to see, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, to win the first quarter, win the third, and win the fourth was by far the most pleasing thing to me again, and it's becoming a theme. The New York Knicks winning the fourth quarter, 19-25, against a very excellent team, can't be understated. The top team in the West. Um, Obviously, I don't think we got the best of them because they've secured most likely they've secured the top seed. But Jamal Murray, Jokic, it was good to have a playoff intensity, battle at the Garden now, and we can really start to get used to that as we continue to look at the road ahead, tonight. But we sweep the Nuggets, and we've clinched a winning season as Kenny Payne comes through. Salute, got the streets buzzing as we clinch a winning season, fam. 42 wins. Vegas already eat crow. All the Knicks diehards that put some their faith in it, and salute to you. That we would be a winning team this season. But the role players has been absolutely amazing this season, and it's just going to get better and better as everyone buys in now. We stay in fifth, obviously, but we only are 2.5 back of the Cleveland Cavs, and like I said, we play the Cavs again uh, away. So you see the road ahead now. The final 10 games remain. Knicks Nation, get excited as the final straight. These 10 teams, 10 games on screen. We're just 2.5 back of the Cavs, and we have a little bit of separation on the Brooklyn Nets, who are in sixth, who might even, stay ahead of the Heat. Like we said, the Heat losing to the Chicago Bulls right now. That's a huge game for them, but the Bulls are pressing. The Bulls are still, in the play-in spot, and I think they no doubt they want to make that play in. And Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, they want to make some noise. So nothing's promised for the Miami Heat. They've got work to do. They've got to win today, and they've got to catch the Brooklyn Nets. But the Knicks have separation on the Nets, 2 games, and with 10 to play, the 50 burger is in sight. I can feel it right now. I really think it's in sight. What do you guys think? The question buzzer asks. 8-2 would get us to 50 wins. We can definitely beat Minnesota if we take care of both Miami games. Last show, I said if we beat the Denver Nuggets, the 50 burgers definitely in play, and it absolutely is right now. Streets is buzzing right now. Knicks 26 champs says trading for Hart measures up with the trade for Sprewell as far as immediate results go. 100% agree. And I'm telling you, man, we're channeling something from 99 with this team. It just has those vibes. We're surprising people. We started slow, just like 99. We found hot. We got chemistry towards the end, and it's happening. Like JJ knows. Hart knows how to fill up that stat sheet. Yeah, man. Um, can't give him enough flowers for stuffing that stat sheet with 13 points, 5 assists, 8 boards, 3 offensive, hit all 4 free throws, 1 of 2 from deep, 4 or 5 from the field in 32 minutes. So he's playing more minutes than Quickley. He's playing more minutes than Grimes. Tom Thibodeau's officially in love right now. Knicks fans are in love with this pickup. And it was better than the Rose pickup from 2 years ago, in my opinion. Um, just in terms of the fit and all of that stuff. But we'll get to the starters, no doubt, and Brunson's return. But I think the biggest catalyst so far recently has been the bench, and I want to give a huge shout out to the bench's consistency because there's no let up. There's absolutely no let up when the lead dogs are on the bench because our bench is like a starting unit, with Emmanuel Quickley leading, the sixth man of the year betting. Josh Hart coming in, 13 points, Quickley with 10. Isaiah playing amazing defense now. And Obi Toppin thriving on offense, getting efficient and getting in fast break opportunities. In 12 minutes, he was 2 or 5, 5 points, +1, got a block. But yeah, it wasn't his best game, but the consistency of the bench, elite role players standing up, knowing their role, like I said, and just keeping us in games, but then also getting us the lead at certain times, which has just been critical for guys sitting more. And you're noticing it, Randle only played 36, Brunson only played 32, Barrett only played 34. So that's huge, man. Yep, Julian's bringing the 50 burger, man. Um, yeah, salute D Gons. What's good? Appreciate you. Yep, everything's buzzing right now as we're gearing to these playoffs, and the bench mob is on fire right now. Robert's in the house. Salute, Sherwin. Good night. What's good? Um, yeah, everyone else coming through. Salute. Fast break points. Yeah, Josh Hart, like JJ hit. The ability to push the pace, play faster is opening up our offense so much more for this bench to score easier. Like John Schmelk said the other night when we had him on, garbage buckets. You need that. You can never get enough cheap buckets, and it's going to be key in the playoffs too. Um, so tonight, the Knicks dominated points in the paint again. So it's no surprise we won 56 to 48 points in the paint. And our biggest lead, both teams' biggest lead was 13 tonight. So it was a seesaw affair, but it was blow for blow. The New York Knicks landed that knockout blow because, again, top to bottom, I think 1 to 9 man, we're a very, very, very strong roster. Um, but fast break points, 11 apiece. So that's been key to this recent run. The Knicks pushing the pace and getting faster buckets. So Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickley, they play with a frenetic pace, which is unbelievable with Obi and Hartenstein's agility as well. Is this the best bench in the NBA? It's certainly, man, it's certainly looking that way. It's finishing that way. I mean, it's not how you start; it's how you finish. And I'm hearing, pundits and analysts and all of that stuff give more praise to the Knicks bench now. When you look at the numbers, don't lie. Man, everybody was consistent tonight. You get 10 points from Quickley, 13 from Hart, and all those stats. Defense, you get even all-round scoring. Hartenstein and Toppin giving you 6 and 5 points each. This nine-man rotation's an absolute weapon right now, and there's no stopping us. No telling how far this squad can go right now. But obviously, we welcome back Jalen Brunson. one of the best transactions could be in franchise history in terms of best free agent pickups right now. And man, Brunson did not miss a single beat tonight. In 32 minutes, went 9 of 20, 2 of 5 from deep, hit all 4 of his free throws, gave us 5 assists and 24 big buckets. Man, he is so dominant in isolation there. Look how crafty he is when he gets into the paint. He forces the defense to collapse, and he just requires that 24 attention, like a Damian Lillard kind of Steph Curry. You can't lax on a dude like Brunson. He'll take advantage. Mm. Um, Hector salute. The Knicks don't play fair. They got Mitch doing cardio out there. Yeah, we'll address Mitch's follow up, clarity on what he's going through and all of that stuff. But the good thing I mentioned the other show, it's not affecting his play on the court. And Mitch's defense, late towards the game, he got that critical steal on Jokic down the stretch when we were going bucket for bucket, and it was a key moment in the game where we definitely needed a stop because I think scores were tied and about 2 minutes remaining. They could have had a chance to take the lead, but I think Mitchell Robinson, his growth this season in terms of not fouling a lot, can't be understated. Just 2 personal fouls from Mitch. So he is better at not leaving his feet, staying upright and knowing, when to go for the block, etc. But for Mitch to be a plus 11 tonight against Jokic, 8 points in 26 minutes, and Hartenstein's 22 minutes. We got a perfect center tandem now that can, gives any teams troubles. And that's what makes this team really, really scary, right now. As we get closer to the playoffs, it's all about, hitting your peak at the right time. And the New York Knicks are absolutely surging, knocking off heavyweights, knocking off the Denver Nuggets now and sweeping, I think, the season series for the first time in, it has to be over a decade, at least, I think. So, yeah, what are the keys to this future and recent stretch? Is absolutely the defense, a stingy defense, keeping Denver to 110, 19 points in the fourth. Josh Hart, guys playing solid D. Barrett's defense has improved. Obi's defense has improved. Randle and Brunson, Grimes, everyone giving you just whatever effort they can give you right now. Nothing, we don't have the perfect roster. We don't have the perfect defense, but it's a lot of it's effort and it's smarts, knowing where to be, rotating well, getting in the passing lanes. And Josh Hart's effort is contagious, outrageous. With that said, his impact's been like, can't be stated in terms of the stats he's putting up. 8 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 13 points. Gives you a couple of threes a game. Tonight he hit 1 of 2. He gets to the line, hit 4 of 4 from the line. That's another key for this team, fam. We are getting a lot more foul calls. Randle shot 7 free throws tonight. Brunson shot 4. Barrett got to the line 6 times. Hart 4 times. And Quickley 5 times as well. So yeah, that's amazing to see us now finally be getting more foul calls. Buzzer salute. If Miami crashes and burns in the playoffs, could you see Miami blowing it up and sending potentially Jimmy? Um, I wouldn't say it's likely, but that wouldn't be something that would shock me. It wouldn't shock me at all. I think, Jimmy, he's a kind of a volatile kind of character. He might get fed up with that situation. The clock's definitely ticking in Miami as we peek the box score right now. Yeah, and the Bulls are running away with it. The Bulls are up 14 halfway through the second, 41-27. The Heat are reeling right now, which is great for us, fam. So salute. Chat's buzzing right now, smashing that like button. Williams, salute. Knicks can get to the second round. What do I think? From all the way from Brazil, salute Willin and the Brazil community. And I really do think the Knicks can get to the second and third round. I think ECF. Um, Obviously, a lot would have to go right, and I'm not expecting it to happen, but it's definitely a big possibility. Um, you got to take matchup at a time, but I just think this team's really well rounded and can match up against any team. Um, Not saying they'll be the favorable matchup, but it's the intangibles that we bring. If you play great defense, you push it in transition. You got good isolation scorers in the playoffs. That's what's going to help you a lot. Randle's ability to draw the double is fantastic, and then you got guys that can play off of him really well now. You've got Brunson that plays well off of Randle. You got shot makers with Quickley and Hart closing it out, closing games out. You got RJ Barrett who's coming along with the efficiency and finishing at the bucket. RJ Barrett was 8 of 13 tonight, which was solid. G Money's in the house. Salute. G says New York is looking scary. Facts, right? Yep. Not even just to us, but the national audience, I think. And I really do think that the fourth seed is a real possibility. Um, I really do think it with these games coming up that you see on screen now, 2.5 back of the Cavs, and the Knicks play the Cavs one more time. So that's going to be a 2-game swing if the Knicks can beat the Cavs. And I'm willing to say that our schedule is more favorable than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look at it: Minnesota, the Heat, the Magic, the Rockets, the Heat again, and then the Cavs, then the Washington Wizards, who might likely be tanking at that stage. The Indiana Pacers, who might be playing G Leaguers at that point. They're probably not going to be trying to pick up wins. The Pels, and then the Pacers all over again. So that's buzzing for me, that run home. We could definitely go 8-2, 7-3 at worst, and really put the clamps on the Cleveland Cavs for that fourth spot. But at very worst, I do think a 7-3 finish would likely still get us fifth. But the critical games against the Heat, we got to beat the Heat twice, which would be great. And the Heat are losing right now, so that could be further gravy. Um, the Brooklyn Nets could be the team we might need to worry about, a little bit more. Yep. Drip Moore's in the house. Yep. Legit, legit, legit. Let's go. Sustainable winning now. We clinched our first winning season for a long time. Well, 2 years ago, in fact. But in terms of an 82 game season, this is amazing. This is legit now, and having Brunson back healthy just feels great. Um, Never thought I'd be saying this, but um, salute to Thibs for the minutes with Brunson. 32 minutes was solid. So those minutes were what thought out well. It was spaced out really well. Quickley playing 26 tonight, which allowed, and Josh Hart, which did allow Brunson to only play 32. But if you think about it, Jalen Brunson is absolutely crazy in terms of what he's doing. In 32 minutes, he still put up 24 points, 5 assists, 4 of 4 from the line, 2 of 5 from deep. I mean, at this point, he's one of the best point guards in the NBA. Um, I'll add that to the accolades that he's getting this season. I don't care if it's MIP, All NBA. Just give him his flowers. Now he's playing like one of the best point guards in the NBA. And I'm still seeing various omissions from different people's All NBA teams and shade being thrown. But Jalen Brunson, if they don't know, they're going to know in the playoffs, because I think he's going to go to another level. I think Jalen Brunson can go to another level with this thing, fam. And it's just beautiful to see out here, man. Yep, so we out here buzzing after we sweep the Rockets season series. A big win, closing it out well. And that's what I talked about to John Schmelk last show. What I feel best about heading into the playoffs now is how much this team has grown from earlier in the season in terms of finishing games out. Execution's better now, and we're starting to win fourth quarters. No thanks to Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickley, Brunson and Barrett's play down the stretch, Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Hartenstein's defense. Uh, these guys are suddenly now it's starting to gel. And I like the chat saying, man, it's scary hour out here. When players are starting to know their role, man, look out. Um, Knicks 26 champ says outside of the Bucks, Phoenix, and maybe the Warriors, the Knicks can beat any team in the league in a best of 7. Yeah, I like the mentality we have. We can fight when our backs against the wall. Even if the Knicks went down in a series, I think we've got a solid locker room. Obviously, players got to keep their emotions in check. Things got to still go right, but we got defenders, we got shot makers, and we got closers, which is big. G Money says Randall's steady. RJ used his size. Brunson showed IQ. Hart was serviceable, and Josh Hart is just straight bowling right now. The second unit's buzzing, G Money. Um, in terms of this 9-man rotation, and you think about it, Deuce McBride, he needs a deserved mention because what he did in the West Coast helped us get that win against the Lakers, helped us get that win against Portland, and tonight he didn't play. So that lets you know how deep we are. Uh, man, Jericho Sims deserves minutes as well. But that's just another reason I ain't too worried because, someone's foul trouble, somebody goes down. We got dudes that can step up immediately, step up, which is great. Agent Super Argo in the house. The fact the Knicks beat Denver again, and this time they were healthy with the Joker and Murray, speaks volumes. 100%. Yep, 100%. Yeah, we've grown. This is a different team. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we're finishing well. Now, is it going to mean anything if we flame out in the playoffs? I don't think it will. Playoffs is still where you want to, carve out your name and make that statement. But it's looking good. It's looking really good for here out. Um, I'm so confident it's not going to be anything like 2 years ago. We got guys healthy. We got an excellent center rotation. We got depth. Like I said, we got dogs now. We got defenders. We got isolation scorers. I mean, even a guy like RJ Barrett, who, John made an amazing point the other night, is he could go 3 bad quarters and RJ Barrett can just burst out and then give you a 13-point last quarter or something like that. So, I think if anything, that's RJ's strength. He's stone faced, doesn't let nothing phase him. Yes, he can be a bit, you know, a little bit too, tunnel vision at times. But when things go right and he's aggressive and he can get foul calls and he can hit his shots and his defense picks up, man, he's that third piece that's going to help us get to the ECF. Um, if that happens, that'll be one of the big reasons. Buzzer says salute. Cleveland has the easiest remaining schedule. By contrast, we have the 5th easiest in the league. Okay, appreciate you for that. Do I still think it's a chance to catch them? I think it is because we play them once more, and that could be a 2-game swing. But we got to keep the pressure up. And if we do finish 5th, I'm still okay with that. As we check on the score, and by God, the Chicago Bulls are up by 21 over the Miami Heat with 2 minutes to play in the half. I got to check the box score to see whether or not Jimmy Butler is playing. Yep. Does seem like the Heat have got everyone. Adebayo's playing, Hero's playing, Butler's playing, Kevin Love's playing. Oladipo's playing. So Kyle Lowry's out. But wow, that's no excuse. So yeah, the Bulls are gunning for that play-in, man. Um, we got Vucevic with 15 at halftime, DeRozan with 17, Levine with 16, Pat Bev with 12, Caruso with 10, and Pat Williams with 14, and Kobe White with 10. My God, 1, 2, 3. They got 7 players in double figures with 2 minutes to go in the half. They are killing the Heat, which was awesome. That's amazing to see, man. The Heat could be losing it, man. The wheels could be starting to fall off. Geraldine says JB played great, but he's still hurt. Did I see him limping? I didn't see him limping. I hope that's nothing serious. I think that it was a bone bruise, so I think Geraldine that it was probably soreness. Maybe it's going to take a few more games, to shake that off. But yeah, he's a dog. He's a warrior. He's our Jalen Brunson. I think he's still going to play through some pain, but I think you wouldn't even know it if you're looking at the scoreboard, the box score. He's doing it all right now. He's awesome for this team, and he'll be one of the biggest reasons why we succeed in this playoffs. Um, because, like I said, it's scary for the other teams, man. You don't know who to focus on. That's what's key with this Knicks depth. You know, our bench is excellent, top 5 bench in the league. The starting unit with the metrics is looking like it's one of the best lineups going on right now, and we are hot. Like we are the definition of hot right now. Yeah, 100%, Paul. I salute you for this comment. Playoffs are a different animal. 100%. Yeah. You get to you get days off. So every team gets a rest every other day. You get to scheme and game plan, and you get to look at the same team, in 7 games in a 7-game series. So yeah, it's going to come down to mental approach to execution and all of that. But man, again, I feel great about it. Josh Hart's taken this team to another level, and that's proof. You don't need a superstar just to help your team elevate. It could be the right role player to fit the right needs, fill the right holes like a jigsaw puzzle. And Josh Hart's impact, who's playing starting minutes. Let's not forget 32 minutes. So it ain't like Josh Hart's just some bench player. He's technically a dude who's starting, starting minutes, but just off the bench. JJ says Cavs do play Brooklyn though in a back-to-back set coming up. Who do we root for? I'll definitely root for Brooklyn on that. That's me personally, because I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking back. As long as we keep winning, which I think we will, I think we want to catch the Cavs, and I really think it's a chance. If they lose a few games, we'll be hot on their heels, man. Like you see the run home. Nothing scares me about this run home. I mean, we just dethroned the kings of the West, like it was no one's business right now. And Jalen Brunson only just got back, too. So yeah, we're clicking right now. And boy, do I really like and appreciate RJ Barrett's consistency recently. 6 free throws tonight, hit 5, hit 8 of 13 in 34 minutes. He was also a plus 13. So the defense is coming along better, and 21 big buckets as well. I like his 4 rebounds, 2 assists as well. Um, there's nothing perfect about RJ's game, but when he's giving you this kind of production as a complementary piece, that's amazing, for this team. Yeah, so like JJ said, appreciate you for that. That's big. The Cavs playing the Nets twice. And what's also big is the 2 Heat games that the Knicks play, and the big one against the Cavs. I don't think the Knicks can get third. That's not really a possibility anymore. But fourth is definitely a possibility, and as well as that 50 burger. Let's go. Buzzer wants to reiterate posting this a million times, but um, as we can go as far as RJ Barrett does take us in terms of output consistency from RJ. And I think, like you've been saying, man, hitting shots is big. Yep, especially in the playoffs. You know they're going to double Randle, and you know they're going to blitz Brunson, 100%, 100%. Yo, Daniel Berry Sports, salute. How we feeling after this one? Aaron, salute. The league doesn't respect us. If Nuggets would have won, it would be all over ESPN and Sports Center. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I feel you on that. We're making noise, but we're still going to make bigger noise in the playoffs. I think for these haters to stand up, take notice as well. Um, and I kind of like it that way because this team's still got a chip, and I think that's what's good for this team. We should go into the playoffs and maybe hopefully be the underdog. You know, how would you guys feel about a Knicks Cavs series, but with the Knicks as the underdog, which I think if they're in the fifth spot, if the Cavs have home court, I think the Cavs would probably start betting favorite. So I think that will be good for the Knicks. We don't care what no one thinks. We just go out there, take our lunch pail, and play some defense. I think that's what's going to win, man. We could hold teams to 95 points. We've shown that. We're one of the only teams in the league that plays defense, really. We held the Boston Celtics to 94 points, on their home court. So um, think about the playoffs, the grind it out, especially if they let us be more physical. You could see Tom Thibodeau throwbacks. We could hold some teams to 85 points maybe in the playoffs. You take Spider out the game. Maybe Garland has a bad shooting night. We could hold the Cavs to 85 points, maybe in the playoffs. It's going to be a grinded out absolute war. Um, they got some big men. That's going to be a fun matchup. Their big men against our big men. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see, the guard battles as well. Jalen Brunson lit up Spider before. He doesn't play any defense. Uh, Darius Garland, last I checked, he's not getting any bigger. He's a 6 foot, 6 foot if he's lucky, 5'11", 6 foot size guard. So Jalen Brunson can play in the post. He could post him up, mouse in the house, kind of thing. Um, Also, last I checked, who have they got to match up on? Julius Randle as well. It's going to be a big test for Mobley. Um, that's going to be a big test. Yep. Yeah, the Heat are under some trouble right now, man. The Bulls are coming. Um, with that said, the Bulls might be clicking. If they get the 10th or the ninth spot, DeMar DeRozan's no joke. He put up 45 the other night. Zach LaVine can go off as well. So, yeah, I like these play-ins. It's going to be fun. We might see some upsets, especially in the West. Any team from 8 to 10 in the West could realistically win a play-in with that. Um, but yeah, it's all to do for the New York Knicks, which is the great thing now. We don't have to worry about what other teams do. You know, Remember we were used to come down to these moments in a season. Trying to make the eighth spot or trying to force a play in. Trying to hope results go the Knicks' way. But the last road trip and this win tonight, you know, makes a situation where the New York Knicks have, destiny in our own hands because I'm looking at these 10 games and I'm not worried about any single one of them, you know, especially the way we're playing, the way we finish the road trip, the bench, the depth, the consistency, um, no letdowns now, no trap games. Got to beat Minnesota at home. Uh, Maybe a huge statement win in South Beach against Miami. Orlando's going to be a tricky game. Orlando's really playing well recently. But then the Rockets, the Heat at home, the Cavs again, Wizards, and 2 games against the Pacemakers. and the Pels, who are struggling as well, absolutely struggling with Zion out. So you guys tell me. I want to see your predictions now for these final 10. Um, I could really see 9-1. Um, I'm not going to go there just yet, but that would be great. But I'm gonna go 8-2. I'm gonna I'm gonna say that it is 8-2, and we do it, fam. We do it. 50 wins on the season. Um, I think the last four are going to be more of the easier ones. Guys going to be resting. Um, C Dub Flash in the house. Salute. Gone 10 and zip. Yeah, man, the garden's going to be buzzing with this run home, fam. I can hear that chant of defense right now. Uh, you take game at a time, but I like our chances. 8-2, I really do. Julius Randle, all 82, not taking a single night off, man. You watch. Tom Thibodeau is going to be playing Julius Randle every single of these 10 games. You can bet your house on it. He's going to be playing 36 minutes, and he's coming for that all defensive, all NBA team. I best believe that. He's an all-star. He's coming for his second all NBA berth, um, with that situation. And yeah, I want to see some more predictions. But Julius Randle's grade tonight: 6 of 15, hit 1 of 6 from deep, all 7 free throws, gave us 7 rebounds and 4 assists, and gave us a steal, 3 turnovers, +5, and 20 points. So a very well-rounded performance, from Randle. Just 15 shots, wasn't forcing anything. I was playing under control. I love the under control Julius. When Brunson's back, we don't rely on Julius so much. He just has to play his game. Take advantage of the mismatch, uh, be a bully, get down low, get to the foul line, which he did tick, plus 7 free throws, 7 boards, pushes the pace, and gave us 20 points scoring, and plus in the plus minus. So Julius Randle not playing his, plus 40 minutes like he used to. So that's key. Randle might be coming into this playoff situation fresh, which is ridiculous to say because he's played all 82. But he 100% deserves all NBA. Does Julius, man? He's a throwback. I think Julius Randle could have played in the 90s. He could have played in the 80s. Um, he's played. I'm sure he's tired. I'm sure he's banged up. But he's not taking a night off, man. He enjoys this thing, and I'm glad to see that he's not playing, more than 36 minutes, right now. So yeah, I'll give Julius an A for tonight, just because everything was under control, and it was just perfect. Help setting people up, rebounding, all of that stuff. J Dragons in the house. Oh, we beat them on the free throw line, which is rare. Yep. I like how we're forcing the issue too. We're getting foul calls. Like I said, um, yeah, our starting unit shot 19, got to the line 19 times. Our starting unit alone got to the free throw line 19 times. So that was decent. But also we hit them. Yeah, so great point. Um, Also, Jay says I'll settle for 7-3. I would settle for that too. But I think why not go higher? I think these games are very, very winnable, especially the way we're playing. And even if we need to rest Brunson again, then so be it. Um, I mean, Quickley and Josh Hart, the way they're playing, they're basically our 6th and 7th starters. That's no lie. 26 minutes for Quick and 32 for Josh Hart, but also super efficient and get to the line, as well. Between Quickley and Hart, they both got to the line between them 9 times. So that's beautiful too. That's why you're seeing that extra scoring come along. when the starters are on the bench. C Dub says finals prediction: Kings, Knicks. Let's go. Maybe not this year, but maybe that's coming soon, fam. Yep. Get to that parade. Knicks in 5. Let's go. Man, I love this optimism. It's just great to see the fans hungry and excited, passionate again. Um, proud of their team, rooting for this team. It has an identity now. It's nothing perfect, but we're seeing big improvements on the last decade. Uh, we're a solid average age now. Um, we're playing a little bit of everything in terms of throwback style, um, with half court offense, but also pushing the pace now on the break, um, with the bench. Playing faster with Obi, with Quick, with Hart, and Josh Hart's impact in terms of assists has been amazing as well. 5 assists tonight. He's really had an opportunity to get others involved. Getting Obi easier looks, getting Randle and Barrett easy looks on the break. So, we come at you in waves, which is frustrating for other teams because just when they think they can they can rest or they can relax, man, no, the Knicks will take over moments of the game, and that's what's been most crazy is, we look at the biggest lead, fam, we had a 13-point lead, but they had a 13-point lead. So, that shows you that there's crazy swings, throughout these games because the New York Knicks are never out of it. They keep coming. Even when we're down double digits, you don't even think that the game's over. So that's a salute to the mentality out here. Admirals in the house. Let's go. Um, and yeah, like C Dub says, the team ain't slowing down. You best believe that, man. I know the playoffs, are going to be great. We're going to have a little bit of a rest too, because if we look like we're going to avoid the play-in, there's going to be at least a 2-day rest, I think, from our final game to the first playoff matchup. There might even be a 3-day rest, um, because yeah, they've got to play these play-in games as well, and the Knicks can sit back and watch, which is great. Get some much needed rest and therapy down. As we'll work our way through the box score and give everyone their grade, their flowers. Shout out the chat. Keep the streets buzzing right now. Smash that like button, and let's go. We gave Randle an A for his performance. Let's look at Mitch tonight because yeah, really proud of Mitch's game. Like I said, that critical steal he got late in the game on Jokic, standing his ground and not letting Jokic bully him. Mitch was a plus 11, 8 points, pulled in 9 rebounds, 7 of them offensively. Yeah, you heard correctly. I can't believe I'm even seeing this. But 2 defensive boards and 7 offensive from Mitch. He even gave us 3 assists, which is crazy. A steal and a block, just 1 turnover and 2 personal fouls, plus 11, and 3 or 4 from the field, and hit both of his free throws as well. Mitchell Robinson, stand up. So yeah, that's stuff in the stat sheet, and I know what's been said recently. He's got some frustrations with his involvement in the offense, staying engaged, not just playing for cardio, all of that stuff. He's a young man, he wants bigger shine. He wants to have a bigger part in this team winning. But like John said, summed it up last show. I hope he understands just how impactful that he is, because things don't even show up on the stat sheet. And Mitchell Robinson is helping this team become elite defensively. He's one of the biggest reasons for that as well. Like I said, he's not getting in foul trouble as much as he used to. He's in the plus minus. He's efficient from the field when he does get shots. But tonight he hit both free throws. So that's an improvement. So shout out Mitch. And of course, we already know he's the most elite offensive rebounder in the game. Stand up. C-Dub says, looks like Cat could be out on Monday, man. Nothing else is new with Cat. He's as soft as they come at the moment. But I think we're going to win that game anyway. Mitch finally getting involved in the offense. Yeah, you know what's going to be key for that? Like that second last play where Brunson pushed it and got him the oop. I think that's going to be key. If Mitch has that extra desire, hunger to run the floor just that little bit harder, he can get out on that break and finish. And that's exactly what Brunson did. He rewarded Mitch with that. Salute David. Great win tonight. Yet we're chopping it up, basking in this guaranteed winning season now. Looking ahead to the playoffs. Very, very exciting times, like you said. Brunson's back also. I'll pull up Twitter later in the show, see if there's any wash up from Brunson's reaction to playing, any injury feeling. Hopefully everything's good. Probably not going to know until tomorrow, but he played 32 minutes, so he may have some soreness, but it doesn't seem like it's something long term, which is great. So yeah, Mitch's impact. Let's not forget Mitch didn't play playoffs 2 years ago, so this is going to be Mitchell Robinson's first taste of the NBA playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. So get hype. Mitchell Robinson's going to have a chance to, to put some shine on his name, put some respect on his name in these playoffs. Tonight he played amazing. I'll give Mitch an A as well for his service. Could even give him an A plus for that stat line, which is crazy. Now, JB, the man who we've been missing, but not really missing too much in terms of the wins and losses, but we're missing his leadership and his scoring, his impact. But tonight he returned finally. Welcome back, brother. 9 of 20, like he'd never missed a beat from the field. He shot 2 of 5 from deep. All 4 free throws went down. He picked up 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 turnover only. Brunson was a -5, however, in the plus minus, but we did have a 13-point deficit at one point. But he put up 24 big buckets as well. He was isolating, devastating, getting into the paint, doing whatever he likes to do, man. Jalen Brunson's our engine for this team, and he makes things run so smooth. Oh, so smooth. What did you guys think of Brunson's return? Let us know, man. I want to hear the buzz for Brunson's return because, yeah, it's been a minute. In terms of him, what he does on the floor, right? He's a threat, a three-way threat. He's a threat to distribute. He's a threat from deep, and he's a threat to penetrate and finish at the cup. Finish efficiently, and he's also a threat to get to the line. So he's a multiple threat out there for the offense, for the defense. He's a headache for them. He's big, he's strong, he's crafty. Also, he's not even playmaking as much as he can because he knows he can get his shot wherever he wants to get. And I said it earlier this show, and I'll say it again. I think Jalen Brunson's playing like one of the best point guards in the NBA right now. It's not even a conversation. It's not even a debate. Um, you know, whether he's top 8, top 10, something like that, but he's playing like one of the best point guards in the NBA this season, and he deserves all that shine that he gets. He missed out on that All-Star nod, but I hope that he becomes one of those players that gets the All NBA, despite missing out on the All Star situation. Yeah, took the words out of my mouth too. C Dub, it's like he never left, man. It's like Brunson never left this thing. I think he's been probably riding the bike, getting those cardio reps up, ready for his return, man. Because the way he finished the game was crazy. You know, he beat everyone up the floor basically on the second to last play. Um, you know, it's like dudes were just thinking that he would pull up, and take the foul. But he was like, no, 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 I'm getting this dub right here, man. I'm attacking like a pit bull. He's a terrier out there. He's a dog. And talk about throwback. Just like I said with Randle, who could play in the 80s, the 90s, different eras. Um, I think Jalen Brunson, he's tough. He looks like he could play in the 90s as well. Um, we know he's not the most athletic. He's not the quickest dude, all of that. But he's smart, he's savvy, he's crafty, and you can't pressure him. You can't bump him off his spot. He could get to wherever he wants to. That's powerful for a player to know. You know, they could get to wherever they want to on the court, and they could set dudes up. His floater game is straight cash as well, which is going to be key in the playoffs, man. His ability to get to the line, man, stand up, Jalen Brunson on his return. Uh, I'm going to give him an A as well, A minus. Um, I'll give him an A minus, you know, but definitely, definitely amazing, solid return in his 32 minutes. Um, but yeah, salute Dan's in the house. I like this stat too. Um, yeah, Brunson's efficiency from deep is actually getting underrated as well. Um, we haven't had a point guard like this in probably forever. I mean, it was the best point guard since Jackson. Um, but obviously, what Walt Clyde Frazier is that dude Earl the Pearl. But those guys are immortal, legends. But since then, I mean, in my lifetime, in our lifetime, Jalen Brunson's definitely, this is just the beginning. So it's hard to even to talk about it so much because I think he's still got more to show. I think Brunson in the playoffs is going to build his legacy. He's going to create a further legacy. Um, but like you said, the shooting from deep is dangerous because you've got to respect that. Um, when the game's on the line, you can't sag off Brunson because he can hit that step back, and he will hit that step back in the playoffs. He will hit some big shots, I guarantee it. But when you do get up on him, that's when he's going to blow by. That's when he's going to go blow by. He's going to get his shoulder ahead of your hip, and then once he got you on his hip, that's it, man. It's lights out. He could stop on a dime, get that floater game up. He could kick it out to the corner, or he could pump fake, get you in the air, get the foul call, and get the and one as well, man. So it's a cheat code right now, man. And I just can't state how good it feels for the Knicks to finally have one of those players, one of those top elite point guards in the league who can do whatever they like out there on the court, man. It's like one of those cheat codes. It's cheese out here. Um, and he only played 32 minutes, so 24 points. He could have easily had a 30 piece, again. He had a 40 piece in the playoffs last season, and I think that could be a preview of what's to come, man. If that foot's right, hopefully everything's good for him. Yeah, Spider, I don't want to meet his boogie man, aka Jalen. Yeah, no one want to see that. In fact, on that note, did you guys see a report today that people internally within the Cleveland Cavaliers organization are secretly hoping that they can play the Brooklyn Nets? That lets you all you need to know, because they're already looking at matchups. Like I said, we got team scouting now coming in. As we get closer to these playoffs, I think they really are scouting, potential matchups. I think the Cavs scouts would have been looking at the Knicks already, and vice versa. And I think they know how dangerous we can be, man. Yeah, we are dangerous, man. A+ for C Dub. Yep, salute to that. Um, Herb, salute. Keeping concentration levels at a 10 to keep winning. That's huge too. Yep, no letdowns. Yep, 100%. No letdowns. We get up for these huge games. We won 3 against Boston. We beat the Heat. We beat the Nuggets now, but then we lost to the Hornets. So yeah, there's great opportunities now to put our foot on the gas, and get that 50 wins, fam. Um, and we finish up the starters with Barrett and Grimes, and then we'll talk more about the bench. But keep the conversation buzzing out here, smashing that like button for Nick Streets out here. RJ Barrett, man, the dude that's been much maligned on this team among the fan base. You seems like you're either a RJ lover or you're RJ hater. Um, is there anybody in between? RJ Barrett can be frustrating at times. He's still growing, still 22. Um, but I was saying to EJ on one show earlier that I think that his development is tricky with Brunson here, because I think, we're trying to balance winning and we're trying to balance development at the same time, which is not easy to do. We're a team that's on the verge of possibly winning 50 wins. So, with that said, there's only so many reps to be on the ball for RJ, since Brunson came in. And I think Barrett still, has had to adjust, to that. And we're seeing now him start to look comfortable late in games, start to be aggressive, get to the cup and finish. So, shout out Barrett. 34 minutes tonight, was 8 of 13. Missed all 3 shots from deep. Hit 5 of 6 from the line. Got 2 assists, 4 rebounds, and was a plus 13 with 21 points. So this is like a perfect kind of floor game from Barrett, super efficient, despite missing those threes, which, is going to be that X factor, I think, like Buzzer's been saying too. If Barrett's money from deep, then that's that huge X factor. Look out. But what's been great recently for Barrett as well is getting to that line, hitting them, 5 of 6 from the line, stand up, which is great. Gave us the 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and keeping his head up, making the right play, which is big. But then scoring efficiently, 21 points on efficiency. That's exactly what this team needs from RJ Barrett. Stand up. He gets an A for me tonight as well, because yeah, efficiency, the scoring, the finishing at the line, some of his Achilles recently. What do you guys think? Salute Will, fam. How we doing? I'm loving that killer instinct that we are seeing again. We can't get soft. Can't start thinking we've already accomplished something. Yep, 100% agree. I love that. I love that. You're hearing a bit of magic and consistency, chemistry with that. Um, yeah, I just think this team loves each other. They love playing for each other. I think um, they know they're on a right course, and I think I heard Josh Hart say, before this game, this is the first time in Josh Hart's career that he's actually playing for something. So that's crazy. Let that sink in. The man's 28, and this is the first time he feels like he's playing for something. So that's big. Um, we know Brunson came to New York. He took this chance, and he wanted this spotlight to show the league, show the world that he could be that star point guard on a winning team. He could take this team to another level. We're seeing Julius Randle's buy-in, his bounce back, playing 82 games, you know, showing his frustration, emotions at times, but you could tell he really wants to win. He really wants to win bad. Um, just the vibes overall are solid vibes at the minute. And Emmanuel Quickley has been amazing this season. We'll get to him in a second. But yeah, Barrett gets an A. Yeah, new Knicks in the house salute. We buzzing right now as we talk about Grimes now to close out the starting five. Grimes' minutes have shrunk a little bit because obviously Josh Hart is Josh Hart. So that's something to watch, going ahead. But you know, I like Quentin Grimes' game tonight. Again, it was efficient, 3 of 7, and hit 3 of 5 from deep, which was great. Gave us 1 assist, 1 steal, gave us a block, and was a plus 15. Fam, plus 15 with 9 points. So that's solid for Quentin Grimes in just 20 minutes, and being efficient, um, playing his game. But his defense is what shores up this starting five, man. Is Quentin Grimes D. It's just been a welcome addition for this squad. Whether he plays 20 minutes, 25, 30, he gives you effort. If his shot's not falling, he makes himself worthwhile keeping out on the floor. So, so Quentin Grimes is a huge piece of this situation. Um, you know, teams don't even want to see him get hot. If he gets hot, then we're almost unstoppable. Um, and in the playoffs, I got a feeling that his biggest moment as a Knick is going to come in the playoffs for Quentin, because there's going to be ample opportunities when Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson and Barrett, start to get doubled, or teams go zone. Quentin Grimes' worth on this team is going to grow. His value. He's a good cutter. He's great, solid one-on-one defense. He could switch. It's just all about the shot for Q Dot. Also, the decision making when he drives to the cup. We've seen him turn the ball over a bit recently, but I think Quentin Grimes is still growing as a player. In the half court set, he's going to be excellent in the playoffs. He's going to be really valuable. But yeah, Quentin Grimes' game tonight gets himself a B plus because plus 15, 9 points, 3 of 5 from deep, a steal, a block. Just fitting in, man, doing what they need to do. Yep. Joshua, 100% agree. He's looking like, yep, this team's looking like they can bang with anyone, can hang with anyone. Look out, rest of the league. And D Gon says Quentin's defense is exemplary. Yep. Yeah, in terms of the off season and what this team could be looking for, now we're starting to see less of a need at the wing spot, with the way we're going with Hart, Grimes, and Barrett as well. So could this be a squad that they just bring continuity back for another year? Let's see. We're obviously looking at that draft pick too. But out here tonight, it's all about this big win, sweeping the Denver Nuggets. It feels great to finally, sweep, get the better of an elite team, out west. Are the New York Knicks becoming an elite team of their own? Stats, metrics does say that. We're not just looking at the 42-30 record. Let's condense that. Let's look at this team since the All-Star break, since just prior to the Josh Hart acquisition. This team is now playing like an elite team and is top 5 in the power rankings. So, we are surging 100%. No doubt about it. We are hot right now. We're playing to our strengths. And until somebody adjusts and makes us do something different, That's what we're gonna keep doing, man. If it keeps working, then keep doing it. Um, Again, our identity is the defense, but we can be solid isolation, half court team, scoring. We're pushing the break, and we know how to get to the line. Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Jalen Brunson are really solid at getting to the line. So they play tough, and they know how to draw fouls, man. So yeah, I'm enjoying this ride right now. The playoffs around the corner, man. Let's get it right here with this stretch coming up, fam. We out here buzzing right now on a Saturday night, and the next game's against Minnesota. Very, very, very winnable with that. And it looks like Carl Anthony Towns is out for everyone out here too. So yeah, let's hit on that bench unit right now. Cheers to everyone out here. Salute Knicks Nation, having fun, talking about this big win, guaranteeing a winning season now on 42 wins on the season now. We go to 20-16 home record, and we are a 22-14 record on the road. So one of the best elite teams on the road, and now we have a solid home record. Now we're 20-16. So yeah, this team's playing like a fourth seed, a fifth seed. I think in anywhere else, any other season or in the West, we would be a third seed. I think we would have an excellent chance at being the third seed, for this team. And we almost beat the Kings without Jalen Brunson, who are the third team in the West, second team in the West. We're beating the Denver Nuggets now twice. Um, so yeah, this team's up there right now with the best in the best. Salute D Cool, let's go. I'm going to start off by talking about Obi. Only played his 12 minutes tonight. He was 12 of 5, 1 of 4 from the deep range, 2 fouls, 2 turnovers, +1, 5 points. So nothing's going to stand out with the stat line from Obi, tonight. But what his value is to this bench unit is key because we play faster pace. The Knicks got 11 fast break points tonight. We tied the Nuggets, and the fast break points have improved for this team. So that's been excellent. Josh Hart's been key to that. But Obi's ability to hit shots, he hit a couple huge deep shots on the road in Portland, and his confidence is still unwavered. No matter how much he plays, if it's 10, if it's 15, 17 minutes, we're starting to see a consistent Obi now. Defensively, he's improved, which is great. Defensively, he's feeling more comfortable. It seems like the communication has gotten better in terms of switching, positional awareness, all of that stuff. Now he does get blow by still occasionally, but we know Obi. Obi's identity is not a defensive, player. It's impactful on offense, and he's in a short period of time he could be very impactful. Kenobi. All he needs to do is come on, get a few big fast break finishes, burst the game wide open, break their hearts, kill their spirit. And Obi can also hit that deep ball, which is big. He can pull up without hesitation. Some of them aren't pretty, but recently he's been clicking, he's been hitting on that. So I'll give Obi a C plus for his performance tonight. But in terms of the bench and his role, it's been more consistent, and it's tough. It's not easy, when you're having a big a short sample size to have a big impact. The pressure is on you, but I feel like he's coping better with that situation recently. So yeah, defensively is really where it's at for him. It's the most important element. For him to get more minutes. Minutes in the playoffs and all of that stuff. But we know Thibs is going to keep him out there if he's hitting those deep shots. So keep it up, Obi. Now Isaiah Hartenstein is one of the biggest catalysts for this team's run recently, turning things around. Uh, I take you back to when Mitchell Robinson went down. If you guys remember, it seems a long, long time ago when Mitch went down this season, and there was a lot of uncertainty. I think the Knicks got blown out the first two games. Mitch was out, and there was a lot of panic set in. People were looking for Dwight Howard, people for looking for Serge Ibaka. Um, can we sign Boogie Cousins? All of this stuff. Um, but that seems like it's now forgotten because Isaiah Hartenstein helped us through that stretch, and he stepped up. Um, I think he also got healthy. I think Isaiah was dealing with that Achilles. It was hurting his movement. He wasn't. He lost that step. Now he wasn't bouncy anymore. He was slow. He was poor defensively, very poor. He wasn't pulling in rebounds. He was playing soft. Basically, the fan base could see it with their eyes, and people were calling him out. All of that stuff. Jericho Sims got in for a minute. He started to take some minutes away. But then what happened? It clicked. It clicked around the All Star break, and he got healthier. I think he obviously looked at his performances, started playing harder, playing tougher, um, and Isaiah Hartenstein's been solid, really, really solid defensively now. Considering he ain't that dude that we brought in to be a defensive guy, but he's definitely holding us down with that. 3 of 5 from the field in 22 minutes, rebounding so much better. He was 3 offensive rebounds tonight, 6 defensive, 9 total, 1 assist, 2 steals, a block, 2 fouls only. So he's improved on the fouling too, and 6 points. So talk about great role player, playing his role. Um, you know, Playing smart too. I think he's got decent IQ. Um, Isaiah Hartenstein's IQ. He can badger people into the foul. He sets screens, but the rebounding's been the big turnaround for Isaiah Hartenstein recently. Tonight I'll give him a B, a solid performance. You know, Giving us a little bit of points towards the bucket. We're not really seeing him shoot the three ball. Tonight he didn't shoot any threes. Um, Tonight he didn't even get to the line. Um, Recently he didn't even score a single point. The last 2 games he'd only scored 0 and 0. But his impact defensively was outstanding. But tonight, yeah, he stepped up. I liked that. I liked it. Salute Stanley. Stanley says, "I love the drive and left-handed finish from Jokic against Jokic by Hart." Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's it's that little part of his game that really complements the bench. You know, just when they think Isaiah's not going to be involved in that play or that offense, he's he's solid in terms of finishing around the bucket. You can't forget about him if you're the defense because they're focusing on Quick and they're focusing on Hart, but and they're focusing maybe on Toppin too. But yeah, Hartenstein can leak out. He could cut to the bucket as well, and they look for him. So yeah, he gets a B. But yeah, his effort has been outstanding. The rebounding, all of that stuff, man. So yeah, stand up, Isaiah, man. He's a big key to this awesome foursome off the bench now. One of the best benches in the league, or playing like the best bench with elite role players right now. If you look at it, man, the way Josh Hart's playing, He's playing like an elite role player. Emmanuel Quickley is like a starting quality player. So he's an elite role player right now. And then Toppin and Hart have edged themselves towards being above average in terms of role playing as well. So yeah, it's fitting nicely, man. The chemistry's on point and it's buzzing. Yep. I'm loving this bench, man. It could be a huge X factor in the playoffs. Talk about resting Randle, Brunson, and Barrett. With these dudes coming on, causing a havoc for the other opposing benches, man. Stand up. Now, we hit on the man we acquired just before the trade deadline. Man, run out of words to describe what Hart's doing right now, but we'll have a good conversation and chop it up because he, I think, to describe Josh Hart, I would have to say Swiss Army knife because you can look at his box score and you're like, oh, that was big. That was big. That I didn't notice he did that. He's doing a bit of everything right now. Everything what this team needs, being solid defensively, locking dudes down, holding us down. But then you look at his offense and he's efficient too. He's 4 of 5, 1 of 2 from deep, 4 of 4 from the line. Then you look at the rebounding, 3 offensive rebounds, 5 defensive, 8 total. And you're like, okay, he knows where to be. Then you look at 5 assists. So when he's got the ball, he sees you. He knows where you're at. He gets you a bucket. Then you see the steals, 3 steals. So again, he's locking people down. Um, he's using up 4 fouls, so he's there on the floor. He's making sure that you know where he is right now. He's smart, and I think he's 28 years old. I think Josh Hart summed it up. With his quotes, he's like, "This is the first time in my life I feel like I'm playing for something," and that's big. Um, you know, 28 years old. He's been on nothing but garbage teams, basically. Um, on the Pelicans, he's been on a losing Portland. He was on a bad Laker team right now, and I think he was so happy to come to New York City right now. We're appreciating him now. People appreciating him more on the national audience. Too with Josh Hart. Uh, he's playing with all heart right now. And like we keep saying, I think he knew what he was doing when he took number 3. When he took that number 3, um, he's living up to that. He's embodying what that number 3 represents for the New York Knicks. He's being that elite role player, that Swiss Army knife, and a closer as well. In the playoffs, he's gonna make big play after big play and he's going to hit big shot. I think big shot, and he's also going to be that hockey assist dude and a dude to get that assist, whether it's a kick out to OB3 or an Obi Toppin fast break finish or something like that. Um, he's all up in your grill, and he's definitely that dude. That it's one of the best acquisitions, one of the best transactions I think the Knicks have made at a trade deadline. you know, and we were talking about it earlier in the chat, was talking about Latrell Sprewell. Could it have that kind of impact, heading into the playoffs, as we try to rekindle this 99 run to this unlikely run to the finals kind of thing. You need a jolt. And that's exactly what Hart's doing. Um, yeah, free throw shooting was great. Um, yeah, and the difference. Yeah, we need to improve the 3-point shooting as well. Yeah, that's going to be big in the playoffs, Stanley. 100%. I like the fact we've improved from the line, but yeah, in the playoffs, especially if teams try to go zone, and they're gonna hope we shoot ourselves out of the game. I think that could be Cleveland's only chance. I think to to stymie our offense. Maybe try to trap Brunson, get the ball out of his hands, and play some zone. Like he said in the past, I think as Bickerstaff has talked about zone. Um, but the thing is, we got dudes that can cut well. Josh Hart's another one, and Quentin Grimes, which is going to be big. Salute JJ. Wish Grimes was able to do more in this offense. I think he's capable of it, but he's playing with ball dominant guys next to him. Yep, definitely. I think it's part of his growth, the path that he's on now. He was a late addition to the starting unit. Compared to Barrett, Brunson, and Randle and Mitch. It's his first year basically starting. I think his role is more limited than what we would hope. Um, but I think a lot of that's had to do with his skill set too. I think he plays really well off ball. Uh, when he catch it, he could catch and shoot quickly, or he could catch and dribble and penetrate. Um, but we've seen, in games when he had more usage in the summer league, we've seen that he's got a bag. He certainly can, dribble more, play make, and he can also do that step back, that dribble drive and step back move as well. And I think Grimes is going to take that next leap next season. But I think his defense is what helps this starting unit gel as well, man. New Yorker, what's good? Yeah, absolutely. This win is legit as it comes. Uh, do you guys think is this a top 5 win for the season? Um, I really like the Portland win. I really like that one. The way we finished it out. But tonight we went down 13 points, so it was a good comeback. But I don't think this game was good all the way through. Um, certainly given up 39 points in the second quarter wasn't good. But the way we finished was awesome, basically. And I could put this as a top 10 win for the season. Quiet money in the house, salute. How do you feel? I think this is a top 10 win for the season. Maybe not top 5. I think a couple of those Boston ones, the Miami one was a great win. Like I said, I really like that win in Portland. That was really backs to the wall. Um, but to basically the whole achievement to sweep the Denver Nuggets was awesome. I think that'll be a top achievement for this season. Because we won in Denver as well with that crazy Randle performance, and to back it up down the stretch of this crazy season, getting closer to that final seeding, and pulling this one out was absolutely big, man. As we keep our throat, our foot on the Cavs' throat coming up. We're just 2.5 back of the fourth spot, which would be crazy if we get fourth seed again. That'd be 2 years out of 3. Tom Thibodeau got the fourth seed. Um, Now let's keep an eye out on the Bulls Heat matchup. There's 10 to play in the fourth, and the Bulls are up 93 to 84. So it's a 9-point game now. The Heat have fought all the way back, so still got work to do. But yeah, we'll keep our eye out on that, fam. 9 points with 10 remaining. The Heat are down to the Bulls, so we're all the way rooting for the Bulls tonight, trying to hope that they can defeat the Miami Heat. Yeah, absolutely. I thought the same thing at the time, man. New York a hit with that one. Salute. Roller. That's it. 100%, man. Yeah, Mitch hitting that last shot was big, um, given the week that he's had. But I credit Jalen Brunson too for pushing it up the floor, which is amazing. Um, the Adidas Grimes plays within his game and within the offense, which is steady growth that we've seen. The inconsistency in the shooting's been something that I hoped would be better, in his second year in the league. But I think he'll get a hold of that. I think a lot of that has to do with Grimes's speed. The jump shot looks beautiful, looks money, But if you notice, he he fires up, as fast as he can. Sometimes he has a second or two, you think, to rise up and shoot. So I think Grimes is gonna get a hold of that. Yeah, Quiet says definitely a huge win because Denver had their entire team healthy too. Yep, and they were coming off four losses in their last five. So yeah, that's five losses now in their last six. So that's what it looks like when you achieve the top seed and you can just cruise. Um, but like Stanley says, their offensive rating was high, so holding them to 110 was a great achievement. Yep. A credit to our effort, our defense too. And like I said, I think this team's just clicking, it's vibing. They like playing now with each other. Um, I think there's a reason they didn't add a veteran to that final spot. Now I don't know if it's too late. Then maybe they might prove me wrong, and add another dude. But they just signed Daquan Jeffries to a second 10-day, and they signed Trevor Keels to that final spot. So I think that's the roster. I don't think they want to, they want to cause any further disruption. Buzz asks, is this the game of the year? For me, it's the Boston one, uh, beating Boston in Boston for the second one. But this one's close. Yeah, definitely. Definitely close. To beat Denver, it's huge. To shut Jokic down was huge. Stand up, the job Mitch and Hart did was big. Um, but yeah, you could see the impact Brunson has on this whole thing, man. It just lets everybody go back to their comfortable spots. You know, again, perfect game from Randle. Like I said, he didn't have to force anything. You know, you look at it, 15 shots from Randle. There's no way Randle's only taken 15 shots with Brunson out, um, and 6 3-pointers as well. Yep. New York and salute 1980 streets well and truly buzzing right now. You got streets buzzing, the chat buzzing. Let's go. Um, yeah, I mean, we deserve this more than anyone because yeah, we're the best fan base in the streets, the best chat in the biz, and you guys know what it is right now. That playoff run 2 years ago was a lightning in a bottle, is what I will say. We didn't back it up. It was Derrick Rose was Derrick Rose, and things clicked. Julius Randle had a crazy season, but we ran into a bad matchup with no Mitch. But right now, this is different. Um, I don't see us only winning one playoff game. If maybe we don't win the first round series, let's see, but we're definitely going to win more than one game because the way we're playing, we're dangerous and it's more sustainable. We're we're a better defensive team. We have better closers, and we're more mature than back then. I think. Back then we relied on few two. Many dudes, RJ Barrett and Julius. No Mitch, as well. Um, the way Hartenstein's playing, the backup to Mitch is playing better than the starting center we had back then. So that tells you how much deeper we are, man. Like Mets Nick says, yep, you're grinding these big wins out on the road to 50 burger for the season. I think it's possible, man. 8-2 finish. Let's get it. Um, yeah, for the big games of the year, Stanley says the Boston and the Heat games, in my opinion, are the games of the year. Yeah, I agree. I agree with the Boston one, and the Heat still in my top five. My top five as well. And let's not forget about the Denver win in Denver earlier in the year too. It was it was kind of lost among what was a crazy hectic road trip early, but that was one of Julius Randle's best all-around performances as a New York Knick that night. Go back and look at that game again. Julius Randle was making hustle plays all over the place. Yeah, so that was big. Yeah, to beat Boston twice in such a short span, that was beautiful as well. That was amazing. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure we've had some huge games at MSG as well this year too. So we're buzzing like a fly, yeah, like a bee. Um, yeah, JJ really loves Grimes too, and I think he's a big piece for this team moving ahead. Um, in terms of he's a dude who we don't quite know what his ceiling could be yet. You know, he could be better than an elite role player. He has the tools, so it's just it's about the development now for Q dot. Um, but this team, yeah, the chemistry is this biggest weapon right now. We're tight. You know, that's why I said we could have added Carmelo Anthony. We could have added a Stanley Johnson. You know, there are people that could have helped this team. I think Will Barton was a buyout, and our name wasn't even linked to his name. So that tells you. I think Josh Hart was that dude, the Swiss Army dude that solved all of our holes. I think. Um, Now, we kind of have still a few small holes, but there's no leakage right now for now because everyone's playing solid. Where our defense is up, our offense is up, and it's great to see. Yeah. And our bench is elite right now. Um, but yeah, this road ahead now, like I said, I got a feeling that the final four games with Washington, you know, maybe they'll realize they're not in the play-in anymore, and they'll start to rest some dudes. So we have the Wizards in 12th right now. They are they're just half a game back of 10th, so they still are a chance, you know, to make that 10th spot. But they're fourth to last in the East. So the Wizards might decide, you know, with 4 games remaining, to pack it up, you know, and let's play Johnny Davis 39 minutes, you know. Let's play Corey Kispert 38 minutes on that night. So, yeah, I do think teams are going to start to pack it up towards the end. You got the Pacers twice and the Pels. So I'm really looking at these next 6 games. If the Knicks can go these next 6 and only lose 1, or only lose 2 games in these next 6, then I think those last 4 we're going to sweep them, and it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be 50 wins. But I really do think 48, 49, 50 now. Tonight's win and last win against Portland goes a long way. That goes a huge way. Yeah, beating the Heat, man, feels great. 100%, man. And speaking of beating the Heat right now, which it felt great, but the Bulls, it feels great to see them. They're 10 points up on the Heat with 4 minutes remaining. So stand up, doing the Knicks a huge favor here now. So with that, it's going to cause great separation now. With the Heat, if the Heat end up losing, you know, tonight, the Knicks will be 4 games ahead of 7th Miami Heat. 4 games, which at that point, if we just take care of our other games, it ain't even going to matter. Those Heat, you know, if we could just split the Heat matchups, it's going to be beautiful. And we have the 2-game lead on the New Jersey Nets too. So I've got to look at the Nets run home, which I'll pull up on screen, right? So the Nets play the Nugs tomorrow. So the Nuggets are off a back-to-back. You know, maybe tonight's close loss has them, you know, frustrated. And then, like JJ said, the Nets play the Cavs back-to-back, which is going to have big ramifications for the Knicks on both sides. Then the Nets play the Heat. Then they've got the Magic, Rockets, Hawks, the Jazz, the T-Wolves, the Pistons, the Magic, and Philly to finish it out. So I'm going to say, the Nets schedule, it's not easy, but it's not super tough either. It's probably 50-50. Um, you know, the Magic game's not going to be easy for them. The Hawks game's not going to be easy for them either, and the Jazz game not going to be easy because the Jazz still fighting for the West play in. Even the T-Wolves still fighting. So, and then they got Philly to finish it out, and then Magic again. So yeah, I feel good now. Fifth spot is pretty much close. I'm not going to say it's guaranteed yet, but it's real close, man. I could smell it. I could taste it. In terms of guaranteeing the fifth spot. Yep. Dirty salute. I think to be more than a role player, you have to have natural aggressiveness. I don't even see that from Grimes at Houston. Yeah, I think his first year starting with heavy ball dominant dudes, it might take a little longer for him to get more usage, I think. And also, he's probably trying to fit into the system Thibs has, in terms of being that defensive wing, catch and shoot kind of thing. Um, it could be interesting if he does want to play summer league. I probably doubt it at this stage because he's a starting quality player. But third year, it won't be the worst thing to play summer league again. I think for Grimes, but he's like I said, he's probably not going to do that. Um, D says I think the Wizards are going to fight it out to the end. Yeah, they are really close to that last 10th play-in spot, and of course Bradley Beal, you know Kuzma, and that looks like they could still win some games. Um, what's key for the Knicks though, if the Wizards do make the play-in and end up coming through the play-in, the New York Knicks will get another draft pick. So that's good. It's obviously top 15 protected. So yeah, if the Wizards make the play-in, that's another draft pick the Knicks get. If Dallas keep losing too, New Yorker says the pick may be at 13 to 15 range. Yep. I really like the fact that Dallas won last night, so that was good. I think if they had lost that one, it would have got too close for comfort. And like you said, I could see Dallas losing a couple more, um, and it's probably going to be 15 to 17 if I'm to guess right now. Um, and that's, yeah, obviously if they make the play in, like Dirty said, it may come down to whether or not they lose the play in. That's almost entirely where it will swing. Yep. Um, but yeah, fate will send that to where it needs. But yeah, I'm more concentrating on the New York Knicks, position, like you said, getting that fifth spot, fourth spot, um, rather than the 50 burger. But it does look like the Knicks are likely to get 48 wins now. I think no less. You know, out of these next final 10, I can't see us not winning at least 6 and 4 of these are coming up. So that guarantees a 48 win season, which was crazy. I predicted 45, and I thought that was on the slight optimistic side. A lot of people thought that I was a little bit high on the 45, but I did say, as part of my reasoning, was that the Knicks would make a move at the deadline and that the Knicks would finish hot. And that's exactly what's happened right now. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy. Jarvis, salute. How we doing, fam? On that note, Jarvis says, CT, the Knicks have reached my projection of 42. I want to see how many wins we will get. Let's go, Knicks. Yep. Jarvis, 50 is a real possibility. It really is. But I think it's going to come down to this next six. The next six is big. Karl Anthony Towns looks like he's out. I think Ant Man. is probably going to be out as well. Let's not forget that. Um, Salute JT. Did you guys see the news? Ant-Man went down the other night with the ankle. So I don't know if they're going to risk him. I don't know how serious it is yet. Um, have you guys seen any news on the Ant-Man situation? But if Cat's out as well, we need to take care of business at home. Um, we're 20-16 now at home, which was beautiful. I'm with it, and let's get this record up, inflated at home. Of course, we do have one of the best away records on the road, 22-14. Yep. Yeah, and with that said, salute to Juju. If he can finish this out all 82. Yeah, we know Thibs is with it. You know, he's going to be gunning for that All NBA Iron Man accolade. Um, and you know what? So he should. And I'm not 100% on this, but I'm sure his contract has some kind of bonus attached. I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein just secured a 700K bonus with games and minutes played, with wins and minutes played. Julius Randle got that bonus for becoming an All-Star. If Juju gets that All NBA, man, I'm sure he's going to get another healthy bag, another milli or something, man. Um, we wish we were in that situation, man. But man, imagine getting handed a bonus that's 7 figures. That's crazy out here, man. Yeah, second best road record in the league. It's really close too. I think we could still finish with the top. And the Miami score, as we see right now, New York are in chat. The Heat are in trouble right now. Is it finished yet? I'll pull it up. And it's all but finished. The Bulls up 113-99, up 14 points with 1 minute remaining. The Miami Heat suffer a critical loss tonight. That has big ramifications, fam, because the Brooklyn Nets won't go away. Um, also lets you know that the Bulls mean business too. They're trying to make that play-in spot. So there we have it. Um, a big domino that falls right now. The Miami Heat struggling, and they were healthy. They had Jimmy Buckets, Bam, Hero, and all of that, but they couldn't overcome, a team in Chicago that's starting to gel now. They're starting to play solid. Um, Joshua says sometimes teams click and gel at the right moment. It's a possibility the Knicks are in that place right now. Who knows what's next? Yep, great point. You summed it up. Basically, anything's possible, I think. And I think this team's chemistry, uh, abilities to deal with different looks, health is a big key. But playoff execution is going to be key. But if things go right, I could really see this team making a deep run. A la 1999, catch lightning in a bottle. And what's serendipitous about this is we have Tom Thibodeau in the head coaching chair, who is from 1999. You know, he he's brought some semblance of some stability and identity from 1999 up in this thing with the Josh Hart acquisition and a Julius Randle throwback. You know, back to 99 when taking games off wasn't a thing. There was no choice. You couldn't go to Pat Riley or Jeff Van Gundy and say, "Oh, I feel a bit sore today. Can I sit out?" You know, they'll they they'll slap you on the side of the head and say, "Get out there." So, you know, yeah, Julius Randle's channeling that 99 Iron Man situation. As is Jalen Brunson. You know, Jalen Brunson, man, the amount of times he's thrown his body, in front of a truck, this season, he doesn't care who's coming. Um, he put his body in front of anything. right now for this team with Jalen. So look out. Yeah, absolutely. Dolan Stanley can afford these bonuses, but yeah, these guys deserve them as well because they bet on themselves and they were successful. You know, that's part of negotiating. You know, their contracts were slight below value for Julius. You know, but it looked bad for the Knicks one year. Now it's looking good for the Knicks, but Julius is getting those bonuses. So let's get it. Geraldine, salute. GM in the house. Let's go. Um, uh, I want to ask you guys now too. Um, now that the standings are looking a little bit more clearer, are you still on board with the Cleveland matchup as your favorable matchup? You know, um, I don't think the Brooklyn Nets can catch the Cavs, so I don't think it can be a Knicks Nets series. You know, it could be a Knicks Philly, it could be a Knicks Boston, but it's at least 60% more chance that it's Knicks Cavs the way it's going, and I think that's perfect. I think I'm fine with that. Um, so be it. We've beaten the Cavs this year. We're beating them on the road. I got no issues facing the Cavs, even if it's in the fifth or fourth spot. That's the main thing. Just avoid the sixth spot for me. You know, if you can avoid Philly and if you can avoid Boston in the first round, then that's amazing. That's a not full success so far, but it's given us a great opportunity for this season to be a success. To win a first round playoff series, and to be maybe slight betting favorite or slight underdog in the betting for a first round series is great. Bring it on right there. Cleveland shook, 100%. You know, rival execs in Cleveland uh, secretly hoping to face the Nets out here. Um, Also, I think we got them on the physicality point of view. Think about these playoff games, the way how much tougher they're calling the games. You know, the the grinded out half court set. New York versus Cleveland with Julius Randle out there, RJ Barrett as well. The physicality is going to be big. Um, they've got Jarrett Allen, of course. Mobley, but I think our backcourt is stronger and tougher than theirs. Of course, Spider can go off, but for 4 games in a 7-game series, I don't know. Can Garland go off 4 games? You know, the beauty with us is if Randall goes off for twice, Jalen Brunson goes off 2 or 3 times. That's enough for the New York Knicks to win a 4 game, 4 games out of that. Um, yeah, Raptors with Pirtle look decent. They definitely. I've been crying out that they needed a big man, 100%. Um, appreciate the wise words with Buzzer and the mini game. I definitely don't want to see us lose this one. I could see it being a trap game, 100%. Um, I just think this team can see the finish line so much clearer now, and I don't think they're going to be taking their foot off the gas now. Um, I really don't. I think there's a lot to play for. They're hungry, man. They they look so hungry, like they haven't eaten in 3 days because I tell you what's at stake. You know, Emmanuel Quickley, he's gunning for that Six Man of Year award. He's so close. It's like $1 in betting difference from Malcolm Brogdon, who's injured right now. So Quickley he's motivated to have a hot finish. Julius Randle, he wants to finish this season hot. He wants to continue racking up dubs, 30-point games, and secure that All NBA. And like I said, I won't be surprised if there's a bonus attached to his contract for All NBA. Probably a big bonus as well. He got 1 milli for making the All Star team, and I'm sure All NBA would get him at least 2 milli with that, at least maybe 5 milli if he won an All NBA. Um, what else? Jalen Brunson. gunning to be a stud, wanting to finish this season, maybe all NBA as well. So yeah, I think this team's hungry. I think they're excited. They're gunning for it. Yeah, there's no nights off. Yeah, yeah. These teams should be tanking to avoid us in round two. Yeah, with the Phillies, the Bostons, all of that. Talk about a classic '90s Eastern Conference matchup. That's going to be amazing too. I just hope we get there. It'll be buzzing. Not Dirty's not sweating Cleveland either. Yep. Yeah, I think we just match up well. Really do. I think they can score easy. They're a good offensive team, but I don't know if they're tough. I don't know if they're as tough as the New York Knicks right now. And we're tough right now from 1 to 9, 1 to 11 with Deuce McBride, Jericho Sims, Emmanuel Quickley's extremely tough. Josh Hart, Hartenstein showing toughness, and the whole starting five as well. Um, it could come down to just shot making. That's the big thing. I do think Cleveland's going to use zone. They're going to throw different looks at Randle. They're going to definitely try to get the ball out of Brunson's hand. But at the end of the day, Spider Mitchell is the one we need to stop, right? I don't think Cleveland can beat the New York Knicks 4 games out of 7 without, Spider Mitchell having a top game every game. I don't trust the NBA voters. Dummies only care about points when voting six man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting with the finish in Malcolm. Geraldine says it doesn't matter what we play in the playoffs. We're going to have it play our game to win. Yeah, we have to play it our game, 100%. Slow you down, grind it out, um, get to the line. I think we have more guys that can get to the line too. Um, but the key is to move the rock for me, fam. We can't get stubborn in holding it too long in isolation. Let the shot clock go. Get that ball moving as well. Trust that it's going to find its way back to you if you make the right cut, you make the right read as well. Mitchell Robinson's rim threat is also something we can rely on, and we need pick and roll. Um, and I think the head of Voltron is Jalen Brunson, and he's going to have to make key decisions. Do I keep the ball? Do I try and beat the trap, or do I get it moving? And then if he passes it to Randle, if there's 10 seconds left, Randle's got to make good decisions as well, because we do have dudes who can shoot. Um, catch and shoot's going to be big, because yeah, I do think they're going to try to stop Brunson and Randle in the half court and make our shooters beat them. Jarvis, I don't mind playing Cavs. Of course, you can't take any team for granted, but I'm not scared of that matchup. The Knicks will have to bring their A game on any matchup. Yeah, you said it. Yeah, playoffs, man. It's nothing's given, nothing's promised. Yeah, you gotta earn it. Um, Remember, even we go back to the last playoff series that the Knicks won against Boston. Remember, we thought we won it. We thought we were going to sweep them, man. And guess what happened, man? J.R. Smith and all of that Shumpert came up in all black. Like we said, we wrong Cleveland, and then Boston made a series of it, and that may have ended up what hurt us in the Indiana series next. We thought we were gonna sweep the Boston Celtics then, but yeah, you can't take any team for granted, man. Yeah, teams can make runs now. Um, I've got to check that, but yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Cleveland, so I'm surprised to see if they are good defensively. But I think their big men are definitely a big part of that. I don't think their backcourt is good defensively. Um, I think yeah, even at the wing spot, they're not overly strong. They do rely on what Karis LeVert, Dean Wade, a lot. I'm looking for RJ Barrett to be that X factor in a Cleveland series. because I think, Spider and Garland can cancel out Brunson and Randle, but have they got a third guy that's able to step up offensively that we have? We all know what RJ Barrett can do. He can give you 13 points in a quarter. And does Cleveland, when it's blow for blow, does Cleveland have that kind of dude who can score offensively? And Isaac Okoro, if he's that dude, you know, yeah, he's not talented offensively, but defensively he's solid. So yeah, that's where the Knicks, I think, with RJ, could be that difference. He could be that difference in that series if he is aggressive and he's scoring in bunches, getting to the cup, all of that stuff. And it would be RJ's second run in the playoffs as well. So, I think all these dudes are frothing to get back. They had a small taste of what playoff ball is like, 2 years ago. And that's even Quickley, Obi, RJ, Randall, all these dudes tasted the playoffs once. Jalen Brunson last year as well. So I think, yeah, we are bringing some playoff experience. Not a lot, but some playoff experience. I do think Quickley, Obi, those guys look pretty comfortable in the playoffs 2 years ago. So I would expect them to look pretty comfortable in another playoff round. I could see Quentin Grimes maybe being a little bit nervy. Um, you don't know. Isaiah Hartenstein, I don't know if he's played in deep playoff games, but I think Josh Hart is definitely going to look comfortable. Uh, like I said, Mitchell Robinson's first run in the playoffs, that's going to be big as well. Um, a key to the matchup with Cleveland will be containing Garland penetrating in the paint, as their shooting is really good when Garland penetrates. Yep. Appreciate that, Stanley. And just like we said before with the scouting, I think they're definitely going to be watching these Knicks games as we're watching them. And same with me. I'm going to start watching more Cleveland matchups, to come through. And yeah, Geraldine, the playoffs are on a different level. Yep, it's something you can't fully game plan against because, like I just broke down, you can't you can't tell which player is going to thrive or which player is going to go into their shell. You just don't know until you're in that moment. Um, and of course, if the Knicks start the series on the road, winning one of those first two games is critical to opening the series up. If the Knicks can pull out one game on the road, the pressure goes back onto the other team. Otherwise, if they take care of home and you go back to MSG 2 down, the pressure is on you as well. So yeah, the first two games are critical. Will says if we made a run to the finals, we would instantly become the NBA favorite because the ratings would be bonkers, man. Will, that'd be insane, man. Watch those ratings buzzing right now. Yep. Remember, yeah, 2 years ago, shutting down Seventh Avenue, all of that stuff is going to be another level. Who do you think Okoro will defend playing the Cavs? I'm not sure if he will be on Brunson or Barrett. If he's on Brunson, RJ then needs to eat. Yep, 100%. I would suggest the latter. Like you said, I would suggest Brunson because, we know Spider and Garland, but um, if RJ gets an opportunity to be on Levert or someone else, then yeah, he needs to eat. Absolutely. Yep. Get to the cup. Tunnel vision, bully Barrett all the way to the cup. Yeah, that's a situation where I'm comfortable with him just getting to the cup. But yeah, we got to see how the officiating is as well. Because remember, the big elephant in the room is Julius Randle, right? If he's getting hacked, he's getting whacked, and he's not getting any calls, does Julius Randle keep his cool? You know, does he keep his cool when the Cleveland, arena, the Cleveland arena is going insane, and it's deep, it's late in the game, right? Julius Randle, hopefully he's learnt from some of these situations, right? Because yeah, it's gonna be bumping, it's gonna be popping. But Jalen Brunson, like I said, he's ahead of the Voltron with this situation, and decision making is just as big as execution in the playoffs. You have less time to react. Players closing out, contesting, um, all of that stuff. Defenders getting more physical with you. Hand checking, all of that stuff. Tom Thibodeau screaming at the top of his lungs. All of that stuff. The pressure's heightened with that. Um, but yeah, I feel good because Brunson had been all the way to the Western Conference Finals last season, and that was not long ago. And I think um, those games that Luka was out, he looked really comfortable on the ball as the main guy as well. So, um, in fact, I would also like Brunson to play off ball because that would prevent them from trapping Brunson, which is going to be key. And that's why you'll see Emmanuel Quickley on the floor together with Brunson a lot. You'll see Josh Hart on the floor with Jalen Brunson a lot. So if Quickley or Hart are bringing the ball up the floor, Brunson can come around the screen and he can play off ball, to avoid the trap as well. So yeah, look for Brunson to play a little bit off ball in those situations, and that's another advantage that the Knicks have. More more ball handling, more multi versatile opportunities. Julius Randle we know can bring the ball up the floor as well to relieve good pressure from the other guys. But when Randall's head's up facing the bucket, he can usually find the good looks. When Randall's back to the basket and the double's coming, that's when it's tricky. It's tricky. Um, the the ball gets poked away. Randall can be a little bit too slow sometimes reacting. So I think communication is going to be huge. Um, yeah, Mitchell not checking RJ, no way, way too big, too strong. Um, they may have to play even bigger. They may need to play with an extra wing that situation. Um, Also, yeah, a big hindrance is the rim protection of Jarrett Allen. With that said, and D1 got me thinking now, maybe we start to see Isaiah Hartenstein play a little bit more minutes. Like I'm not saying Mitch won't start, but we know Mitch can't pull a center out of the paint. Mitch is going to have to play near the bucket. Mitch was 26 minutes tonight. Hartenstein was 22 minutes. So it's getting to the point now where the minutes are getting closer to being 50-50. And the fact Isaiah Hartenstein can can be a bit more offensive and stretch the man, bring the man out maybe a little bit into that mid range, into that mid range area. That might be something to watch. And he's passing too. Players that can handle the ball under pressure, that passes well out of the double. Finds dudes cutting, as well. So look out for Hartenstein's value to maybe grow. With this team, you know, we know in playoffs the buckets don't come easy as well. So, yep. To that, Stanley wants to say, with D, that's why the lob to the Mitch threat will be important, as Allen can't totally commit to stopping RJ. Yep. Yeah, great point you made as well. Yep. Definitely keeping your head up, making that read at the final second um, for RJ is key. I know sometimes he made up his mind that he's going to get to the bucket, but then yeah, sometimes the help comes, and then he needs to make that. He needs to make that move, make that swing as well. Yep, definitely, man. Jarvis, appreciate you. Nick's streets, Nick's chat, Nick's buzz, everyone buzzing right now. It's just good to be back here, back to the playoff conversation now, um, and have this franchise moving in the right direction. Um, Now, yeah, it's going to be so much more to talk about as we get closer to this playoff situation. We could be in for a surprise. We could really be. There could be a spanner in the works. With this stretch running home. The Bulls are starting to play better. Toronto starting to play better as well in 10-9. They could defeat the Hawks. They really easily could defeat the Heat in 7, 8, 9, and 10. That could be one of my favorite play-in situations, if I'm being honest. And the West is exciting as well, with the Pels, the Jazz, Lakers, Thunder, and the T-Wolves all bunched up. But a play-in with the Heat, the Hawks, Raptors, and Bulls, and the Wizards, if they can get in, they could beat anyone. Can beat anyone, which will be fun. That's going to be really fun. With that, yeah, the play-in spot, anything can happen. Johnny says Thibs upped his game, got that tech today. Go Thibs. Yeah, appreciate that. Thibs getting some love. I like the minutes distribution. What I would also love maybe for the playoffs, you guys may not like this, but I would love for the coaches to get a second challenge. That'd be sweet for me. I like the challenge situation, and I hate that they only get one challenge. I know, obviously they need to be quicker reviewing this stuff. They take, way too long. But I think it'd be lit in an important playoff game in the series for these coaches to not sweat on, just using one challenge, because there's going to be errors made. Best believe that there's going to be dubious foul calls, all of that stuff, technicals. Yep. Salute Ilmatics, what's good? Chat popping right now on a Saturday night, and the Knicks secure a winning season. So eat that. Salute to everyone out here that bet above on the overs, and we go from here. We get ready on the road to the playoffs right now. Yeah, I honestly think Josh Hart has revived Obi's spirit. Yep, definitely. It revived Quickley a little bit as well, I feel. And the starting unit, just that extra insurance, another comfort on the floor to close games out with. It's got to make you feel great. If you're a veteran like Randle and Brunson and Barrett, to know that you've got another dude that's 28 years old, been through the lumps, and can close games out with you. A college champion as well. Yep. Yeah, I think Trae Young and the Atlanta series situation's looking crazy. Such an underachieve, this season, and I won't be surprised if he's out of there too. I would be shocked if either Toronto, Chicago, or Miami would beat Milwaukee, Philly, or Boston. Yep. Yeah, I'll be shocked as well. But I think they've got the offensive talent. The Chicago Bulls have the offensive talent to win some games. So, and I think Toronto still have some good talent. But I don't see them getting any further than the first round. Yep. Also, yeah, some teams starting to play some development, with Johnny Davis actually starting to get minutes, which is something to watch. Out in Washington, man, as we gear up for this final 10 games of the season, right? We're absolutely buzzing right now as a New York Knicks nation, and pulling off and sweeping the Denver Nuggets on the season. This season's just gone to another level. 42 wins secured now, and the way we're playing is great for the future of this team. We can match it with anyone. I think in this situation we got versatility, we got Hart, We got the fan base, and it's all eyes now on can we get that 4th spot. Home court advantage at MSG would be popping right now. The Knicks didn't have that. And it's going to be key. In fact, I think we did have home court against Atlanta 2 years ago in the 4th seed, but we didn't capitalize on it, which is different, to this season. And of course, we've got the Combine coming up in 2 months. We've got the New York Knicks Dallas watch with the draft picks. But right now, man, it's winning on our mind. And if we get that 4th spot, it's going to be straight popping in the Garden. And whether it's against the Cleveland Cavaliers or not, right, these next 6 games are going to be important for this team and where we can finish. But it was a great night overall, huge win, top 5 win of the season. Salute to the best chat in the biz, the best fan base in the streets out here. Let's get excited, let's get it on the next one. Right, we got Minnesota right now. Ant-Man's out, hopefully he rests up, nothing too serious. But Karl-Anthony Towns looks like he's out. And the Miami Heat went down, so there's even more separation right now. So salute, let's get it on the next one. Peace.